So here we go again. I know it's going to be hard for the camera to see, but see that little car right there? And there's a man standing outside the car. This guy's been coming to this neighborhood. I've lived here 6 months. And he comes here once, twice a week to buy dope, to buy drugs. That's the only thing I can think of. He's sitting, look. He's an older guy, looks like a biker, you know, long beard, long hair. Older guy, though, like probably in between 50 and 60, if I had to guess. I've got pictures of his car, clear pictures, and him standing outside the car. But he's back in the neighborhood. And where are the undercover cops? Where's the SWAT team? Where's the officers to, you know, I mean, listen, I understand it's hard for them to peep this out, but you're talking about a main street. You know, it's like Sunset Strip in California. Do you understand what I mean? It's a main, or Hollywood Boulevard. Dealing drugs or prostitution, pretty easy to spot, wouldn't you think? For a police officer? So, this is it. I guess this is the drug buy. He's negotiating with the kid on the bike. I could probably get you a little better view, but by the time I get over to my other window, he might be in his car by then and gone. I don't know if the kid on the bike's still there. I can't see too well. I'm blind, but... Let me see here. There's a better view, huh? Better view for you. It's a little bright out here today. Let me lift up the old... It's hard for me to see, so bear with me, people. I'm blind. That's the make model of his car. And again, it sits out here maybe twice a week. He must smoke a lot of weed. Or he gets little batches of it, one or the other. So there's the kid on the bike. Now, a good police officer would take this footage and use it to their benefit. If they know that kid's either dealing or he's a runner, well, there you go. You got him on camera. And if they know this guy's a weed buyer, there you go. You got the make model of his car. You can follow him right to his house. Because he parks pretty much in the same spot every time he comes here. Right there or right here. That spot's taken, obviously, so he had to park here today. But it's usually right, you know, at the alleyway at ACA. That's where he parks. Sometimes he'll get out and walk over to the brick wall and stand. Sometimes he'll just stand outside his car, obviously waiting for his dealer. Or a dealer. Anybody to sell to him. So there you go. I mean, what do you want to do with that? I don't know. It makes the neighborhood bad. And again, this is the main street in Pottstown. This street goes all the way to Norristown, and it'll take you right into Reading. The main street, you know, High Street in Pottstown. Its name speaks for itself, right? And you got other people coming and going and parking and getting out, and nobody's saying anything or doing anything. But there he sits. And you want to know the irony? That's a drug rehab right there, alcohol and drug rehab. It's a halfway house for recovering addicts. That's the irony. They've turned this town into a little Kensington. I shit you not. Kensington, Philadelphia. We have everything but the zombies nodding out on the corners. That's all down on York Street. They have that localized for the moment. It's not that hasn't spread everywhere. And then, like I said in the past, he'll sit there for so long, and then he'll either see the guy he buys off of or his drug dealer. He'll get out, walk across the street over here. He'll be gone maybe 5 minutes less. Then he'll walk back to his car, get in it, sit there for 1 to 2 minutes, and then he'll leave. And if anybody denies what he's up to, they're either fools or just, blind, lying, covering up what he's doing. This is a white man. This is all black section right in here. Underneath my windows is all black people. What's he doing in this neighborhood? He does not live here, because you'll see, I can show you later where he pulls out and leaves. I don't want to film the whole thing because it's just not what I do. You know what I mean? I just ain't got that time. I want to kick back and listen to music or watch a movie. But now it's Sunday, mind you, Sunday afternoon. He was coming here during the week. I mean, they can't even keep it in the alleyways anymore, or the back streets. They have to. This is right on a main street. I've never seen this in my life. And again, you got an Aki store on one end of on the corner where the red light is. That's Washington Street, where they hang. You got a head shop right here, about 3 buildings down from me, maybe 4 buildings. There's an abandoned building between us. So there's I think there's 2 buildings that people can live in, and then an abandoned building, and then the head shop, which used to be my old church. Pottstown Bible Church. Now it's a freaking weed shop. And again, this neighborhood has turned predominantly black. It's a black neighborhood now. It was mixed before, but it was sparse. It wasn't too many of one and not enough of another. Now it's predominantly a black neighborhood. Every building along this strip where I'm living is blacks renting either all the apartments or most of the apartments. So I had him figured either for an undercover cop, because nobody's just bold to sit right here and just buy drugs. You got to be one big retard to do something like that. I mean, in today's technological world, like I said, up on the street corner, which isn't too far away. I mean, I can't show you right, but the library's up there. That's the street corner. They have a camera right on the red and red, yellow, and green light sign. At the top, on the post, there's a camera that swivels, I think, 360 and zooms. I don't know if it was made for license plates, but there's one on every street corner. So in between where he's sitting, there's 2 cameras that probably could zoom in on his license plate. So I don't know how they're missing this. This is beyond me. So I had him pegged as either an undercover cop or he's one of the dumbest sons of bums I ever met. I mean, wouldn't you want to meet somebody in the alleyway so you can presume that there's no cameras back there? Nah, let's meet right at McDonald's where everybody's, I don't get these people. Might as well meet you at the police station. You know what I mean? Hey, who would suspect? All the cops are out doing their jobs. Maybe that would be a good idea. But you know what I mean? How dumb can you be? You're sitting here. I mean, he sits here for I think the longest I've seen him sit here, actually today is the longest I've seen his car sit here. It's probably been over an hour. So I don't know if he has this guy's number or he just, the guy tells him, hey, just, look around for me. When you see me, holla. But there he sits. Now the guy just left on the bike. Now let's see how long he sits here. I'm curious to see if he scored. Or he's going to sit here longer. He didn't mess with the guy's drug. Wait, do I have it? Oh, I have it already zoomed out. I was trying to zoom in further, but I can't. And back in my day, there was two police officers that were well known. Doug Weaver was the chief in Limerick, and his brother George was the narcotics officer. George used to pull up to you in a big with a big beard, looking like a lumberjack. He would dress like he was just getting off work, cutting wood all day, construction worker type. That's what he was trying to dress like, but he looked like a nerd. All his clothes were clean. His boots weren't even dirty. You know what I mean? So you knew it was something was just off. You know what I mean? Lucky enough, I knew who they were. So we used to sit down at Dempsey's, where the police station is now. It wasn't there before. There was just a field there before. And we'd sit on the wall at Dempsey's on a Friday and Saturday night. Who comes pulling up? George Weaver. Hey, guys, do you know where we can buy any drugs? I said, I was going to say, yes, Mr. Weaver, up on Washington Street. That's the drug corridor. I chose to use a little more tact and said, here we go. Say he must have scored. There he goes. That's what I'm talking about. I said, no, Mr. Weaver, or I didn't say Mr. Weaver. I said, no, as far as I know, the drugs are up on Washington Street. That's where you buy drugs. And I didn't have any drugs on me at the time. I'm not saying I wasn't a drug addict. I did use lots of drugs back then, and I drank. But we just so happened, we just got into town, and we were just sitting there waiting. Back then, there was cruising night. You know, you'd wait, and you could meet girls, and, you know what I mean, hook up with your friends, and, you know, drive around in souped-up cars and stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a cop, at least dress, you know, roll around in the mud a little bit. Look like you just got off work. Pulls up in a checkered shirt, like, you know, one of those plaid shirts that you wear, you know, a construction worker would wear, or a lumberjack. Big old beard, looking like, you know, a cop trying to pretend he's a lumberjack. That's what he looked like. So, and I happened to look at his face, and facial recognition wise, his brother and him do look a heck of a lot alike. So I knew who it was. He wasn't fooling nobody. And they were in a car similar to that, real small, tiny, two-door. You know what I mean? The undercover cop. So I don't know if this guy's an undercover. I don't know what's going on here, but if he is undercover, they got a good guy to do it. He looks like a biker. He does. He looks like street trash. No offense to him. I'm just saying he looks the part of a drug addict. That's the way a drug addict's supposed to look like, you know, like everybody else in the street. But George didn't. He looked like a clean-cut, you know, cop trying to be a, you know, got the beard going on. What's this guy doing? Get out of here. Go home. Walk your dog. Feed your kids. Clean your fish tank. Get out of here. You're hanging in this neighborhood for. But anyway, yeah. So this guy, he does. He is either a well-placed, well-groomed, and I mean groomed for the job, undercover cop, or he's just a bum that comes here to cop weed. One or the other. I can't figure it out. But today was the longest he sat here, so he was waiting for his dealer, and he didn't pop up, and he just bought some off that kid or whatever they were doing. Or the kid said, come on down this way. I know where some is. I can find you some. You know, that type thing. Because he quick did it, Ubi. And usually when he leaves, he takes off and goes up that way. So I don't know what he was doing there. But something was going on. And last time he was here, he was parked here, and he got out of the car, walked over here. 6 cops showed up, and they towed this car that was underneath my building. And he didn't get into the car right away, so I don't know where he went. I guess he was standing on the sidewalk watching them. I don't know. But like I said, if he's a drug user, he's a bold mother. You know what I mean? He just don't care. I mean, it is only weed. I get that, but you know what I mean? It used to be in my area, in my town, not that we're a dry county, but you got caught with so much as a joint, that was a year probation. So I don't know what they're doing nowadays with it. They might have upped it to an ounce. I have no idea. You're allowed up to an ounce, or if they catch you with 2 joints in your pocket. I have no idea. But this town done flipped upside down, if you ask me. So there we go. Again, I have no idea what the cops are doing about the weed thing. I don't know if they're slacking off and saying, well, they're going to legalize it soon, so let's let them go. Let it go. I don't know. I have no idea. Or they just want the big dealers and they don't care about small-timers like him. Or he is the cops and he's trying to bust everybody, so he's making buys off of anybody and everybody he can. I don't know. So there you have it. All right. There's my Sunday wrapped up.